How can you become a game composer? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Become a Game Composer, the show dedicated to helping you support your family composing game music online. I'm your host, Stephen Malin. I'm so excited that you've decided to join us here today. Today is actually the first episode of the brand new Become a Game Composer podcast. So this is going to be a video podcast where new episodes on YouTube are also going to be podcast episodes. I'm really pumped about this because we're going to have 3 different types of content that we're going to be rotating through as we move forward on this show. The first one is going to be chats with other industry professionals where we talk about the full music business spectrum, where we really dive into habits, time management, how to get work, how to maintain business relationships, and really just everything in between that's going to help you grow in your music business as well. The second type of content are going to be chats with audience members just like you, other composers that write video game music. A lot of you guys have the same questions, and it's always really valuable. We can have these composer chats where you guys get to ask your top questions about game music business, and I can give my best advice to help you along in your journey. The third type of content are going to be episodes just like this one today, where I basically just share my thoughts on a particular music business topic within the game industry. So the whole idea is by having all 3 types of content, it's going to give you 3 different perspectives. It'll give you perspectives from other industry veterans, it'll give you the perspective of other audience members, and then it's going to give you my personal perspective as I lead you to support your family composing game music online. So let's dive into the topic for today. I wanted to start this first episode off talking about what I think is the foundation and the bedrock of everything we talk about here on the YouTube channel and on the podcast. It literally is our belief system, our value system, that everyone who subscribes to this thought is going to see success because they're going to follow these 10 steps to become a game composer. If you haven't downloaded the free guide, 10 Steps to Become a Game Composer, you can get that going to stephenmalin.com/10 steps. That's spelled Stephen, STEVENMELIN.com/10 steps. You can also go down into the description, into the show notes, and download that. It's just a quick little 2-page PDF. Basically just kind of distills all of my thoughts and experience in the game industry over 15 years in the industry. It basically bypasses all of the failures, all of the bumps along the road and the journey. And my goal is for this just to be a cheat sheet that you can literally print out, put in your studio, and just to have a daily reminder. And my hope for you is at the end of this episode, you will know exactly which step you are on. And that way you know where to go and how to move forward. One of the dangers of having a journey like this is many composers believe that they're actually much further along than they actually are. I would guess that many composers believe that they're on step 6 or 7, when in actuality, they are really still at step 1 or step 2. And so I believe that it's really important to go in order so that you can make progress. You can track your progress. So if you haven't read that guide yet, hit pause, go download it, go read it, just take you a few minutes, and then come back so we can talk through each of the 10 steps. Step 1, commit exclusively to becoming a game composer. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you must exclusively be a game composer if you want to reach a level of success. My journey goes all the way back to a shotgun approach where I've done film, TV, video games, podcasts, movie trailers, music libraries. And the danger of this is by trying to do everything, I never reached the level of success that I actually wanted. Now, it is possible to do this, but the challenge is if you try to do everything, then you're going to have to give way more time and energy that is actually sustainable. And as we're going to learn in future steps, it actually halts your growth. If you continue with a shotgun approach, you will continue to rise in your career, but you will hit a ceiling that you have to make a decision about which direction you want to go. So here we believe that if you want to be a game composer, you must exclusively become a game composer, declare it, and make sure that you say no to any other project that would deter you from that main focus. Step 2, define your ideal game genre. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you should have one and one only ideal game genre that you pursue. The purpose behind this is it's very important that you choose one goal for yourself, because at the end of the day, the most famous and the most beloved music soundtrack composers for games are the ones who really are the best in their category. They're the guys that are the most passionate about RPGs or the most passionate about platformers or whatever, anything in between. Now, me personally, I am a 2D adventure game music composer because they're the ones that I love playing the most. So if you really want to find out which game genre is the one that you should write for, then I suggest you take a look at what games you love playing the most and what do you love writing the most. Quick way to find out exactly what you're the best at, well, ask your community, ask other composers to help define that for you. Step 3, develop a sales funnel. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you must set up a sales funnel, a roadmap, to plan out how your potential clients, your game developers, are going to find you so that they can be attracted by a lead magnet into your sales funnel. And that way, over time, they will be converted from cold to warm to hot leads that will buy from you. Now, for many composers, this is where they have a really hard time because we're creative people. We want to focus on our music. We want to focus on our art. But the challenge is if we don't treat ourselves like a business, no one else is going to. Game developers want to work with a professional. They want to work with someone who knows what they're doing, who knows how much they charge and why. They want to work with someone who's going to get the job done, who's going to do a great job, and ultimately have a great experience with. And this all starts with planning out a sales funnel, which is just a simple piece of paper that you can literally draw the steps that you want from day one to first sale. You want to map out what route is your game developer going to go on? How are they going to find you online? What are they going to experience when they do find you? Is it going to attract them into your email list that you can then sell to them? Step 4, market your best music for free. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that your ideal game client is one free track away from purchasing music from you. Truly, if you start giving away your best music for free, not your secondhand, discarded, rejected tracks, but your best music, you give that away for free through content marketing, through SoundCloud, through YouTube videos, through music packs, you will attract those clients into your sales funnel, and then you can start selling. It's a very easy thing to set up, and the best part, it's automatic. It's automated through using an email sequence service such as ConvertKit, which is what I use. They now have a free option if you want to check it out. Using a service like that, you can convert over time that cold to warm to hot lead who will buy from you. Step 5, attract your ideal games developer. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you will attract the best ideal game projects to work on if you give away a free lead magnet, something that's actually valuable to them. It could be a free music pack, it could be a single free track, it could be a free custom track. It doesn't really matter as long as it's extremely valuable for them and worth way more than free. You're exchanging an email address so that they can get into your sales funnel and you can sell to them over time. Step 6, provide consistent value over time. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that email marketing is the best way to sell. You may have noticed in my own marketing approach how I don't ever sell to you guys publicly. I don't sell to you on YouTube, on SoundCloud, or anywhere else you might find me online, especially not social media. That's the worst way to sell to somebody, because anytime you sell in public, you come across as desperate. But when you start selling privately in one-on-one conversations, aka email, someone that has elected to give you their email address in exchange for more free stuff down the line, that is the ultimate place to sell something. They want that something from you because they know that what you're offering will provide even greater value to them. We believe that email marketing is far from dead, and if you can attract someone into your email list, that there is a very high percentage that over time, they will be converted into a hot lead that buys from you. Step 7, sell at the right price. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you should increase your music rates every time you have a new project. Now, this might feel a little bit controversial because some people feel like you should just stay at the same rate over and over and over again. But we're here to help you build a business that supports your family. The only way that you're going to reach that $63,000 plus per year, which is the industry average for game composers that work from home. If you're going to reach that amount, you have to increase your prices. The best part about this system that we're building is this email list is going to automatically start sending referrals your way. You do this the correct way and walk through these steps, then you will literally have too much work. You will have to start saying no. And when you have to say no to one project, that means you're going to raise the prices for your other projects. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Rather, this is a get-rich over a long period of time because you're building relationships that actually add value to your game developers. Step 8, deliver exceptional results. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that you should always execute with excellence. When you're hired to write custom music, you're hired to serve your game developer, to serve the game. You're there to say yes, you're there to revise, and you are there to deliver on time. Those are non-negotiable elements that if you are going to get into the creative industry where you are creating custom products, custom assets for someone who's hiring you, that's just what it takes to do this industry. It's what it takes to create amazing relationships, because what you want is not just a one-off relationship that they hire you and you're done. That's just a business transaction. What we're doing here is we are building long-term business relationships and friendships that last multiple projects, that last multiple years. And hopefully, if you really make a good relationship, it's going to last your entire career. And these are the developers that will hire you over and over and over again because you are fun to work with. You're exceptional to work with because you always put excellence as your top priority. Step 9, follow up with your previous game developers. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that your game developers want to rehire you. This is the most missed opportunity that I see all the time with game composers. They have a business transaction where they work on a game and then years go by, they don't follow up with their game developers, and they wonder why they're not being hired again. But the best part about this game industry is it's so tight-knit. This community is so helpful. They're so friendly. Of all the industries I've been a part of, the game music space is so fun to be a part of. You guys really make this a very special place. And what's so neat about this particular industry is if you make a good impression and you just follow up and you have regular conversations like a friendship, go figure, you're going to get hired again. And the pricing doesn't even matter. Especially if you make it known up front that your prices are always increasing after projects, guess what? those game developers are going to be making more money. They're going to have a higher budget over time. So it's fine. They can afford to hire you if you're the right person. If you've had an exceptional results from past projects. So we can do this a number of ways. You can just follow up normally through email and through social media, just being a part of their lives. Another method is to add those game developers to a specialized tag within your email sequencer. Again, I use ConvertKit. You can add custom tags to every single email address. You can have multiple tags and really just create your own crazy structure. What I do is I put a custom tag on every game developer I've worked with in the past. I ask their permission and I say, hey, can I follow up with you periodically through email? That way we can stay in touch. Most of them say yes, and then they get added to that sequence, which is an automated email sequence which delivers personalized, pre-scripted emails at regular intervals, whatever I set it up to be. It could be every 90 days, every 6 months, whatever. And it just reminds those game developers, hi, I'm over here. I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to add value to you. What's going on in your world? Just asking basic questions will allow you to connect with them and stay connected. Stay at the forefront of their mind when they're ready to hire again. Step 10, continue the system. At Become a Game Composer, we believe that if you continue this system, steps 1 through 9, and you keep the machine going, you feed the beast, so to speak, that you will have a successful career. Your income every single year will increase. Now, we all know as freelancers, there are periods of feast and periods of famine. That is just the nature of freelance work. There are some months that you're going to make $300. Other months you're going to make $15,000 and beyond. But here's the thing. If you have a steady, automated system that has free content that you're delivering on a weekly basis through your YouTube, through your SoundCloud, through social media, you're going to be attracting new potential clients. And as they enter your sales funnel through your lead magnet, they're going to be inside your email list. And then over time, you will be converting cold leads to warm leads to hot leads. And what's going to happen is over time, as that email list grows, you are going to get so many offers to write music for your ideal game genre, because back in step 2, we became the expert of that particular micro niche. You're going to get so many offers that you will have to turn some down. It's going to create a long-term, sustainable, recurring income business. That's what I'm talking about. That is a real business. If you want to support your family, if you want to earn $63,000 or more per year as a game composer, that is a reliable income. This is a proven 10-step process that works every time. But I have one caution for you. If you stop this machine, if you stop feeding the beast, if you let your foot off the gas pedal, you might coast for a little while and you might still have some level of success. But what's going to happen is if you stop feeding the content marketing machine, which is free, by the way, doesn't cost you a dime, we're not buying ads and all that nonsense. If you stop feeding it, your business will dry up. So this is why I teach scheduling. This is why I teach bulk recording, bulk editing. You really shouldn't be in a lifestyle where you're always living paycheck to paycheck, or you're always living content to content, week by week. That's not a planned out schedule. That's why I teach you guys to create a year's worth of material. Go bulk record for a few days and have hundreds of videos if you can, or at least dozens. Go ahead and pre-schedule them out. That way, content will always be delivered on time. You can take vacations. You can take days off. You can have sick days. You can have family emergencies. Go figure. Right? If we put the same level of effort into financially saving for those moments, then we should put the same level of investment into our business. And we should have something set aside, having our content pre-scheduled so that we can just be free, that we can be creatively free to write music when it's time to write music, and we're not having to fret and constantly worry about, oh, where's my next piece of content coming from? I believe that you can do this. There's no level of talent required to be a game composer. There's no level of experience required. And anyone who tells you otherwise is wrong. Now, talent and experience are very helpful, and I have a lot of it, and I'm very grateful for that. That's why I can charge higher. That's why I can take on more projects. And ultimately, that's actually why I can say no to more projects and say yes to the projects that I actually want. That's what talent and experience gets you. But talent and experience is not the prerequisite to start. Heck, my very first commercial game called Worm Run, which was an iOS app back in 2008, that game launched my career as a game music composer. Didn't get paid great, but it was something that I got to do right at the beginning of my career with no experience and certainly no talent. Maybe some raw talent, but it was unrefined and I hadn't had enough experience to really shape that into something that was what I would consider to be marketable. And nowadays, it is mind-blowing how much work is actually available for composers. One of the number one obstacles that I hear from composers when they hear these 10 steps, they say, oh man, Steven, I would love to go through those steps, but I just don't think that I can make a career out of this. Are you sure there's enough work? Are you sure there's enough games out there? I just have to kind of laugh at this because have you taken a look around? Go to any game conference, go to any game developer forum online, go to Facebook groups. There are hundreds of thousands of developers versus 10,000 composers. There are 1,000 times the number of game developers and games being created versus the number of composers. I hope that this gets you pumped up. This gets me so fired up because if you pick a game genre that is very specific to you, like I choose 2D adventure games, there is going to be so much more work than you could ever handle. There just is. Every year, there are hundreds of games per genre. There are hundreds of games. And how many can I possibly write for? 10? Maybe on the most extreme year ever. Most composers, the higher you go up, you work on one game or two games because they're large soundtracks. In fact, I've made a life habit in my career of bringing on assistant composers to help me or asking you guys and referring you guys in my audience. There have been so many instances that game developers have come up to me and asked if I wanted to be a part of their game. And perhaps the budget was too low versus where I'm at right now in my career. Or I just didn't have the time because I was already committed to other projects. I connect you guys. I refer you guys to this. But I'm not just going to refer anybody. I'm going to refer someone that I know is going to do an amazing job, who's going to represent my referral well, someone who's a friend, and specifically someone who is amazing at that particular genre. There was an instance, even just a couple years ago, where someone approached me about a very specific Sega Genesis style soundtrack. And while I have some experience in that, that's not my absolute favorite thing to write for. And while it was a cool game and everything, I ended up referring a friend who ended up becoming their composer. And now he's working on their third game because he's developed an amazing relationship with them. And this is what networking is all about. I know networking sounds so corporate, right? But networking is just about friends referring friends. So if you're my friend, and you are my friend if you're watching this, and you're amazing at a particular genre, you don't even need to be the best. Just give your best. Do your best. And over time, the talent and the experience will come. But most importantly, you will be establishing relationships and building credibility and building your network as you move along that process. If you want to earn $63,000 per year as a game music composer working from home online, this is the place to be. I hope you've enjoyed this talk today. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss a single episode. There's so much great content coming. I have amazing guests coming. We're going to have just incredible conversations about game music business, how to make more money, how to earn better passive income, how to create game music packs, and just the whole slew of it. Because I want you guys to get there as fast as possible. You're not going to get there overnight, and you certainly aren't ever going to get there if you don't start. Don't let the whole starting process scare you. I'm here to help you. So subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet downloaded the free guide, 10 Steps to Become a Game Composer, the 10 steps that we just walked through, if you want a visual to read and to print out to put in your studio as a daily reminder, and go to stephenmillen.com/10 steps. Again, that link is in the description below. You can grab that. As we come to a close, I have one question for you, and I want to hear from you. So today's question of the day: which of the 10 steps are you on right now? Because if you don't know which step you're on, then how are you going to make progress? How will you know what next action to take? Some of you are on step 1. Some of you think you're on step 6 or 7, but you're actually on step 1 or 2. Review the steps, and I want you to comment below if you're on YouTube, or if you're in the podcast, leave an iTunes review. I want to hear from you. I read every single comment. And I want to know where you're at so that I can help you take the next steps. I can't wait to share more content with you soon, every week here on the YouTube channel and the podcast. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.